Hello and welcome to Digging the Coast 365. That's getting a bit boring, isn't it? Let's do it in Morse code instead. Okay, today's 365 we're going to do in Morse code, guys. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Digging the Coast 365, there you go. Day number 18 or 17. I've lost count. Let's go get the metal detector, yeah? Where? Have you ever seen a goat which grazes in the sea? Okay, here we are at the beach. We're getting on with the metal detecting. I will say right from the start there's going to be very little metal detecting today because I had trouble uploading the files from my camera, well, from my phone to my laptop last night, and I've only managed to do it this morning. I haven't made the video yet, which is due to go on in about 6 hours. It's going to take 3 or 4 hours to sort out, so I reckon I've got an hour on this beach, an hour and a half maximum. I've not brought my big camera out, I'm just using my phone, but I have to dig 365, so I will be digging, but just not for very long. First hole was just a piece of malted aluminium. Just had two lovely girls over there in swimsuits come over asking me to find them a bracelet. I says, well, if you drop a bracelet I'll find it. What? Just a piece of aluminium rubbish. Not every signal's a ring or a coin, you know. Thank you. Okay, this is a bit unusual. Aluminium. Piece of nothing really, but it's got little lines on it. I wonder what that was off. Yeah, that's quite interesting. Could be off an old bracelet or something, looking at the two things at the end there. Just had the two girls in the swimsuit come over again, asking what I'd found. I think I'm in love. Or maybe I'm just lonely. Probably just lonely, to be honest. It's been a while. It's been years. Leap years, come to think of it. Just a few random llamas walking down the street. How cool. So for today's bit of history, I thought I'd bring you to Chrom Museum. And the very first thing that interests me, have a look at this. Now here's a photograph, I think this is from 1883, showing the pier here. Now there used to be a different village, and there it is. It's about 400 metres from the end of the pier, and that is the top of a church. Now, you can't see it anymore, but you could in the late 1800s. Apparently a ship hit it, and everyone had to be rescued, and so they blew it up basically. It's not there now, but yeah, Shipton, another lost village. All these very old axe heads, look. Something I've always wanted to find whilst metal detecting, never found one. I know a lot of people who have. I'm just looking at some of the people who used to live here. Look like some very nice characters. Don't seem to get characters nowadays, do you? Everyone looks the same, dresses the same. Now this fella is called Henry Blogg, and he is the most famous lifeguard the world has ever seen, the most decorated, got the most awards, and I believe he saved something like 850 people, him and his crew, and he died in 1954. I might be able to show you a bit more about him later on if I go to the Lifeboat Museum. Just look at this beautiful, I don't know if you'd call it a painting or a sculpture really, a mural, because it's 3D you see. Really nice. If you want to know what a fisherman's cottage would have looked like from like 1880 to 1920s, this is it. He's not real, he's not real. Some more ganses here. I keep talking about them every time I go to a museum, I see them. But this is a great picture, look. Up here you can see them actually wearing them. See how the arms are really short? So that they don't snag on, you know, whilst they're working. And that's a typical bathing costume from 1910 for a man. And that is part of a mammoth's tooth. I know that because it says so here. Now that's a bit better, that's a fossil of a mammoth's tusk. I know that because it says so here. Okay, so a resident geologist will be wetting himself now, we'll ask Sam. Because this is the geology room and there's some amazing things in here. Now the first thing is them, look, I found one of them. And people were saying it's what sharks lay their eggs in. Some people said skate, some people said dogfish. Now them particular ones are from skate, but mine were bigger than that. So, I don't know, so I'd say it's a dogfish or a shark, the one I found. So did you recognise that last thing which I showed you? That said it was a backbone of a dolphin. I found one on the beach yesterday, can you remember that really strange tiny little bone? Now the one I found was tiny, it was that big. The one in there was about 5 inches, so whether it was like a baby dolphin or some other animal, I don't know, but I would say that was the backbone of some kind of fish, possibly a dolphin. How cool! And I think I've kept it as well. So it's time to bring you up to date with the old charity thing, how we're doing. This is how much money we've raised so far. Bing! And this is how much money we've raised in the last 24 hours. Bing! It's slowing down, guys. It's slowing down. We need to start upping this a little bit. I know everyone was going to start donating at the beginning and then it would die off a bit, but please, 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 guys, I don't want to be wasting my time here. We need to make £50,000 and we're not going to be doing it by getting totals like that every day. So please dig deep, remember what we're doing it for. Rays of Sunshine, a very, very worthy children's charity to make wishes come true for seriously ill and terminally ill children. Please go in the description, click on, read all the description links and click to donate. That's all you have to do. Work overtime tomorrow night and just donate that money, yeah? Rather than sit on your bum watching me on YouTube. Well, that's a tricky one, isn't it? No, watch me and work overtime. Just go to sleep later. So we are in the RNLI Museum here, the Henry Blogg Museum. This is the lifeguard I was telling you about, the most decorated lifeguard in the history of lifeguards, basically. Here's all his medals, look. Apparently he saved about 877 lives in his time. He served in both world wars. He died in 1954. I don't know what age. The boat behind me, this is the actual boat he used to sail on. I do love museums like this because it's free to come in, but you you give a donation, you know, to help towards the RNLI. And that is one of the charities. I nearly did this for the RNLI until I found Rays of Sunshine. But this was pretty much my second choice. And here you have the medals who was awarded. I think it's fantastic that he's like the local hero and they've dedicated a museum especially to him. This is the only guy who has ever died in Cromer who worked for the RNLI during a rescue. They actually rescued 44 people in a storm, and there was a big wave basically, threw a lot of people overboard. They got everybody back on board, but he died on the way back to shore on this actual boat on the Bailey. And this is Henry Shrimp Davies, who was the nephew of Blogg. And he worked for the RNLI as well. Lived from 1914 to 2002, so he had a good life. He retired in 1976. So I've just lost my tripod. So I'm going to have to go back looking for that. Terrific. And this beach is nasty. I mean, for digging on. Underneath it's just pure rocks. It reminds me of where I live. You can't get through the rocks, man. So this is my best signal so far. But I can't get my tripod out of my head. It's only one of them little cheap ones, you know, about £10, and you stick your phone on it. But it helps to keep it steady. You know, when I'm doing museums and stuff, sometimes it's a bit shaky. But if you have it on the tripod, it seems to help. And I've lost it. I'll have to try and retrace my steps in a bit. But I'm not very hopeful. It's all like seaweed and rock, and I can't see me finding it. Now this said it was just 1 inch down. It lied. It were a good signal. It lied. We're down to about 4 inches there, and it's going to be something big, iron and poop, because that's how things are turning out today. There you go. I found a rock the size of Gibraltar rock. Ugh. Yeah, that were it. Yep, just found that. Surely there's more than that. Yeah, underneath the rock. It said it was on the surface. This is just rubbish. This is just the sea interfering. The salt, the mineralisation. It does this sometimes. Getting a lot of false signals. Yeah. Not even going to try. I'm not even looking any further. Well, I might just try my hand in there. You never know, do you? I might just be an inch away from a 500-year-old ring, and I'm not. It's rubbish, man. It's rubbish. So if the video ends very abruptly, it's because my camera, my phone battery is almost gone. Now this is the best signal I've had all day. Apart from the last signal, which was the best signal I've had all day, which turned out to be very deep, and I never found it. This, on the other hand, is very deep, and I'm not going to be able to find it. I don't know what's going on down there. There's like a big heavy metal party going on, but I'm not going there. I'm just not doing it. No, Cromer is not happening, guys. This is the worst place I've metal detected so far on this trip. One of the nicest places, don't get me wrong, but for metal detecting it's impossible. All the rocks are all mineralised. Every rock bleeps, and where there is any sand, you get a couple of inches down and it's all rocks underneath. It's impossible to dig, impossible to get a clear signal. And I've got to go back and edit yesterday's video, so I want to get everything sorted today so I can give you a lovely fresh day tomorrow, because tomorrow's a big day. I might be doing a little tiny bit of detecting inland off the beach tomorrow, but we'll play it by ear, see how it goes. So thank you for watching, guys. See you all next time on Digging the Coast 3, 6, 5 or whatever.